Today we are continuing working on order of operations with expressions that have square roots, cube roots, exponents, and absolute value. In our first example, we've got cube root of 38 minus 11 all over 3. So remember that the radical sign acts as a grouping symbol. We have to do all the operations under the radical sign first. So 38 minus 11 gives us 27. And then the third root of 27, we figure that out by asking ourselves what times itself 3 times equals 27. Maybe you remember from before, but that is 3. And then the fraction bar means to divide. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. Number 2, we've got an absolute value sign here, these straight lines. That means absolute value. That acts as a grouping symbol. So we're going to take -8 minus 7, and we get -15. Then we take the absolute value of -15, which is 15. There was nothing between 4 and the absolute value sign, so that means multiplication. So multiplication happens next. 4 times 15 gives us 60, and lastly, we add 8. Number 3, we would evaluate exponents first. -3 squared, that means -3 times -3, that's positive 9. And then we would do the multiplication with 6 times -3. So we get 9 plus -18 plus 8. And then we can add 9 plus -18 gives us -9, and -9 plus 8 gives us -1. Number 4, evaluating everything under the radical sign first. -2 to the 5th power is -32. -32 subtract 32 is -64. And the third root of -64, we're going to ask ourselves what times itself 3 times equals -64. And the answer is -4. The fraction bar also works as a grouping symbol, so we want to evaluate everything in the numerator first and everything in the denominator. So 3 times 4 becomes 12, 12 plus 8. And then in the denominator, 2 times 5 gives us 10. Then adding in the numerator, we get 20. Subtracting in the denominator, we get 4. Number 6, evaluating the absolute value. Half of 10 gives us 5. And then in the denominator, 2 times 3 gives us 6. Inside the absolute value, then taking 5 minus 9 gives us -4. Then taking the absolute value of -4, we get 4. Up here in the denominator, 6 plus 10, we simplified to 16. So 4 over 16 can be reduced to 1/4. And number 7, the radical sign, we got to evaluate everything under the radical first. We got to do exponents first. 5 squared becomes 25. Next, we do the multiplication under the radical sign. 8 times 3 becomes 24. Then the subtraction under the radical sign. 25 minus 24 becomes 1. And then we can take the square root. The square root of 1 is 1. So we have -5 plus 1, which gives us -4, and then -4 divided by 4 gives us -1. Number 8, squaring -11, we get 121, and then multiplying 4 times 7 times 4 gives us 112. Next, in the denominator, we multiplied 2 times 7 to get 14. And then we have to do the subtraction that is under the radical. 121 minus 112 gives us 9. And then the square root of 9 is 3. 11 plus 3 gives us 14. 14 divided by 14 equals what?